Welcome, everyone. We're excited to have you on the Hire Talent Substack. So what are some of the exciting initiatives you've taken on this year, and what are some of the things you're excited about?
Excited, huh? We have a lot of initiatives this year. We're making some changes to our Talent on Demand program. We are going from one MSP to another. So we're changing MSPs, and we're also changing the tool. We're changing the VMS as well. So we have a lot going on this year. It's exciting,
Yeah,
but it's a lot. Yeah.
it's a lot of hours, right? Yeah,
Very
definitely.
much so.
Yeah. And then Rohan, I know your organization is one of the top MSPs, but you also have a big consulting practice. Can you kind of walk us through
Yeah,
that?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Monument Consulting, our flagship service offering is we're an MSP, but we realized a shift in the market to where customers aren't sometimes necessarily looking for this fully outsourced solution, but they're still needing help and support with these problem statements that they're dealing with, and that's this consulting practice that we have really helps us meet our customers exactly where they are in their respective journeys and be surgical about how we add value to them, and so it's been really great and really embraced by the marketplace across the board.
And so I don't have to have you as the MSP to get your services.
Absolutely
outside of
not.
services, right?
And I think what's unique about this offering too, it's all of the value streams that an MSP provides, but in a much more modularized fashion, right? Sometimes you just need help with your supplier relations. Sometimes you just need help with treasury management. Sometimes you just need help picking the right technology or deploying it or optimizing what that instance looks like. And we're able to really modularize what that value stream is from that traditional MSP offering and be a lot more surgical in how we meet our customers, like I said, exactly kind of where they are in their life cycle and journey. So it's a great way to bring clarity and validity to the problem statements, but also help solve for those in real time, which is pretty awesome.
And then I'd love to hear from all three of you around. We've seen the last 2 years that a lot of contingents being moved into SOW, and it's for a variety of reasons. I think one is probably the CapEx expense you could take down as a publicly traded company, right? You can write off the full SOW versus the labor expense. And then there's also rules and stuff like that. So some people don't want to follow the rules, and so they move it into SOW as well. Are you seeing that trend continue? And then have you guys considered reducing the rules to sort of get more contingent spend back in the right place?
Well, we do have a lot of rule breakers, yes. But I'm not sure if it's really like the categorization of the positions. But I do think, like what you were saying, having a lot of like an a la carte option that way, and not because we can't really. Now things are so complex, we can't really utilize one either staffing agency or one MSP to really solve for all of our issues. We really need that more of a la carte option, right? Where we can pick and choose what we really need to solve the problems that we're having. And I think that's extremely useful. So we deal with a lot of different companies. The miscattegorization, it's a lot of positions that are currently in SOW at PPG. We need to take an additional look at to perhaps move them into the Talent on Demand program or vice versa. As far as CapEx is concerned, that sits outside of our program, but we are looking to move a lot of those opportunities inside Talent on Demand as well.
Okay.
So that's where we're working to be with a total talent solution. That's where we're really working to get to, but we're not quite there yet.
And is your organization open to bringing that in under your belt?
I think if we can find a solution that would solve a lot of the issues, then yes.
Okay.
But it is specialized workforce.
Yeah.
So it's difficult. But some of it I think does belong in more of our contingent labor program.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is so highly specialized, especially for what we do at PPG. It just doesn't make sense that they are CapEx projects.
No, for
So
sure.
you have to really evaluate them, I think, individually.
Yeah.
To be able to decipher where it really belongs. So, and we do a good job with that at PPG. I would say the managers are open to it. The ones that have used our Talent on Demand program are pleased with it. So, but yeah, moving where it makes sense, I think we need to evaluate it.
Okay. And Rohan, what are you seeing on trends around CW versus SOW, and other rules getting reduced?
Yeah. I think you're always going to have some folks that work strategically against the current. But I do think organizations, there's value in having a centralized nucleus for even visibility. Maybe not the full functions and the bells and whistles, but at least the visibility into your entire external workforce population within one nucleus is important. I go back to two phrases a mentor preaches to me all the time is you can't effectively manage what you're not measuring. So there's that visibility cycle that's critically important for customers to bring all of that spend or at least visibility on headcount under one roof. And then beyond that, data is king these days. It's no longer cash, it's information. But information is nothing if you can't transform that into impact or application, right? And so with this function, I think the first step too is standardization before you optimize. And so that's really the journey that we take our customers on. And it is a journey. It's not a one size fits all. Every customer and use case is a little different. So, which is why I think the measurement function of bringing everything to where you have data that's dictating your decision making or validating those decisions are critically important. So that standardization piece of understanding what the pieces are, what the variables are for the equation, then helps you solve that equation from that optimization path, right? And so, yeah, it's a journey. That's the most important thing, and that journey is going to look different. And you should have a prescriptive partner to go on that journey and trek with you, operating as almost a Sherpa of sorts, guiding you through that process. And also being able to pivot in real time. Sometimes there's a storm that comes through while you're mid-climb to the summit, and you have to change your path. And being nimble and agile and flexible is important too in that journey.
So speaking of data and interpretation, a lot of MSPs are sort of changing how they're leveraging AI. Are you leveraging AI, and then are your clients allowing you to leverage that AI?
I think... there are a lot of use cases out there from how companies are thinking about using AI. There's a lot of talk. There's a lot of buzz about it. And there's value. And I see a lot of value, I'd say at a tactical level. I haven't seen a great use case of it being an application that's at scale, that's truly driving transformational change. There's a lot of tactical change that I'm seeing, but there's not a whole lot of transformational change leveraging AI just yet. We're talking about it. We're stress testing what that could look like. But I think a lot of it is in beta stage right now. Like I said, a lot of tactical impact, but not a lot of transformational impact yet. But it is coming. It is on the horizon. And like I said, there's a lot in the beta phase right now, but I'm curious to see how it all plays out. And I'm excited to hear case studies too, of what customers are doing and what are some of these journeys that people are on, because those use cases can be repeatable, I think, across the enterprise and the marketplace.
Yeah, and if you get one adopter, then you can use that to get other people to adopt as well.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
The reason I'm asking that question is because I've seen clients will ask me in an RFP, are you leveraging AI, and describe it, and I put it in there, and then the next question is, do you agree not to use it in our company?
Yeah.
So it's like they want you to know, they want to know you can do it, but then they don't want to know you're doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
We're just not there yet. The technology, I don't think, is there yet.
Yeah.
We're doing the same thing. We're basically trying to gather all of the information. It seems like a lot of suppliers are utilizing it in the same way, but they're utilizing it from the recruiting and staffing end, going through resumes and doing that piece of it. They're not really leveraging it yet. So like you're saying, I think it is on the horizon. I just don't think that the technology is there quite yet for us.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's always this conversation of like, hey, there's this great impact potential, but there's also this great risk potential.
There is.
So the decision point meets an equilibrium to where it's likely no action forward until there's like steady use cases, is at least the trend that I'm seeing a lot. Like there's a tremendous amount of talk, but then there's also a lot of risk associated with it, which causes inaction. And so I think a lot of companies, people, individuals, enterprises are waiting for true, scalable, safe use cases that can then help really put this domino effect in motion.
100%. Yeah. No, I agree for sure.
I agree
And
too.
I feel like we're at we're in 1997 in the dot-com boom, where they said everything's going to change, and it didn't, but it was going to. And when you got to 2000, you saw how it changed all the businesses, right? Everything from websites to e-commerce.
Right.
And so I feel like that's where we are today. I just think the timeline's going to be half the time, and it's not going to be 3 years. It'll probably be like a year, or a year and a half. What are you most excited about for the next 12 months?
For us, it's go live. We've been working towards this. We've been taking the steps. We're, in the testing stages now. So we're really excited to go live because we're expanding the program into Europe as well. And it's something, I've been with PPG and the Talent on Demand program from its infancy. To see where we've come to where we're going is a really exciting time for me. So I'm very proud of the program and yeah. So that's probably the most exciting piece this year.
Very cool. And you said you're leveraging Monument for consulting services?
On the other side, on the
procurement
IT
side.
side.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're going to pay? Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
And what are you most excited about next 12 months?
I'm really thrilled about one, all of this buzz around AI that's going on across the marketplace. So really seeing that operationalize itself across the marketplace is really exciting to me. As an organization, we have a lot of momentum, specifically through our consulting practice. It enables us, like I said, once again, to meet a lot of customers in the marketplace where they are in their respective journeys, and helping identify and uncover what those variables are to help solve the equation, right, is really, really exciting to us. And also stress testing a lot of the capacity that exists in the marketplace. The crown jewel of our consulting practice is our VMS deployment capability.
Yeah.
And so really how these tools are leveraging their own use cases of AI, but stress testing that too, and how we can derive as much value to our customers. Leveraging that is something that I'm really, really thrilled about over the next year.
I love it. We're in definitely some exciting times. Thank you all for coming today. It was an amazing conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.